those vegan guys. Thank you.
Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to another fancy backdrop kitchen vlog with me, Paul. I'm chatting with my lovely husband this morning, the lovely Jason, about Mental Health Awareness Week, which today marks the beginning of here in the UK. And if you're a regular of the channel and have been for a couple of years, you probably know that we, particularly me, always mark it with a personal vlog, because I think it's a very important time, because Mental Health Awareness Week isn't just about raising the public awareness of the prevalence and the brevity of mental health issues in the country, and you know, what resources are available to deal with that. What's going to be a crisis after all this lockdown is over. It's hopefully a week where we can also self-reflect and be aware of and tackle our own mental health issues, the things that may be holding us back, things that may be having much more of a detrimental than a positive effect on our lives. So, in true Paul fashion, I am going to lay myself bare and raw for you, and if my story helps anybody, that would be amazing. So, when did I first become aware of mental health issues within myself? They were actually many years ago, in a very destructive relationship that I was in for 8 years. Goodness knows why. No, I'll tell you why. Because I was young and I was actually terrified of being financially independent. And so I put up with a lot of bullshit. Anyway, at that time I had quite severe bouts of what I now know is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, whereby I used to have to I used to live in a block of flats on the top floor, 16th floor, and I used to many times go to leave my flat to go to Sainsbury's, get downstairs and think, oh my god, have I locked the door? And I would go back, and I might do that 3 times. Thank goodness there were a lift. Sometimes it weren't working. And I realised that this was becoming detrimental. It was actually, I was starting to annoy myself with it. So, I know this sounds random, but I came up with a system whereby I had to lock the door, push the handle, Paul, the door is locked. Paul, the door is locked. Wait for a second. The door is absolutely definitely locked. 3 times. Right, the door is definitely locked. It's definitely locked. You are your own confirmation, the door is locked. Now go. And I would still occasionally get those little feelings. I'd be like, no, I've done the thing. I've done the checks. And that OCD would bleed into other parts of my life as well. But I always came up with a solution for it. And nowadays, I really don't have that. I can lock a door, try it once, and I'm like, yep, you've tried it, it's locked, leave. You know, I'm okay with that. And my mental health issues also manifested with eating disorders. And I wouldn't label anything as anorexia or bulimia or any of those very clearly defined issues that people deal with, but there were elements of it all. I just had very severe weight obsession issues, and have been times in my life when I've been very skinny, really skinny, and appetite suppressants, laxatives, the whole kit and caboodle, until I got that in check too. And I'm going back years. These were like, even in the the early years of being with Jason, some of the weight related mental health issues were there. And then, you know, I've managed throughout my life, and I'm sure that a lot of my issues have come from I suppose my family life. As much as I loved my dad by as an adult, and we became friends, and you know, I can now look back and say he was a good bloke. He was an arsehole to me when I was a kid. So I had him, and I had everyone else bullying me constantly because I was gay. Very effeminate. And that stuff does have a lasting impact on you. But you learn to deal with it. And then fast forward many years, and a very severe period of very complex mental health issues began at the end of 2016, when I was I've mentioned the story in another vlog, abbreviated. I was hosting a TV show. I got kicked off because of one complaint. Interesting TV show, actually. I'm going to link it up there. That was the episode that got complained about. I was very negative about Theresa May. There was a lot to be negative about. I don't know of any other TV show where they get one complaint and kick off a presenter. Just think they didn't like me talking about veganism, to be honest. I'm still very wary of where that one complaint came from. By the by, kicked off the TV. 2 weeks later, the horror, which is an armed robbery with 4 masked nutters with, you know, knives and the whole kit and caboodle, and just me and Jason, and beaten severely, and more of the detail of that is in that video there. Now, after that happened, I thought, oh, I'm alright, funnily enough. I didn't take it personally. I think that's very important. These were 4 robbers. It didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered who was there. They would have got what we got. So not taking it personally is very important. However, anxiety and panic attacks were 2 side effects of that event that I had no idea about at all. I had no idea that they would be a thing that I would have to deal with. And it was funny how I kind of realised as well, because not too long after, Jason and I went to a place in Manchester called 3 Minute Theatre. So it's no longer there. John and Gina, what a beautiful and amazing couple, who'd opened this little wonderful place, this little piece of heaven in the bottom of Affleck's Palace, where creatives created constantly, and I'd always felt at home there. We'd launched, Pink Triangle Theatre had launched our show 1 there, and our show 1-2 there. We'd been part of a queer as Fringe festival, which was amazing. All this, and so it really was a second home to me. Anyway, we went to watch this. They used to have this event on called Flim Night, where they choose a film and people would do, whether it be poetry or performance pieces or dance pieces or whatever, to do with the film, based on the film or loosely. Or anyway, the stage was at the front, obviously, and the seats went out and then just slightly up, like just a couple of tiers, because it was only a small venue. So we sat right at the back. Now, in the robbery, that's how they'd got me, you see. Arm round the neck, pulled me back onto the concrete. It's all in the video. But I didn't realise that I would ever feel vulnerable there. And the second we were sat down and the lights were down and the performances had actually started, and I knew that there was this space behind my... Somebody could have walked in and grabbed me from behind easily. I think it was that. It was the vulnerability. It was the fear of that exact same situation happening. And that would then manifest on the buzz, in the street, in the supermarket. I had some horrific panic attacks. Pounding heart, sat on a garden wall for 5 minutes trying to get my breath back because a jogger ran past me. And I hadn't, he was just suddenly there, and I was like, oh, you know. Another one when someone on a scooter motorcycle went by me really fast and then pulled up dead quick, about only 10 feet in front of me. He was delivering newspapers. I thought he was one of the robbers and he was coming to finish the job. And it was only when I learned to talk about these things, but mostly after that last incident, when I learned to talk about the aura, was when I really started to heal from it. I got asked in the bar, I continued working at the bar where it happened. I got asked at the bar about 5 weeks after it had happened. Lovely guy. Served him his pint and he just said, how are you doing, Paul? And I said, oh, I'm alright. I'm on the cocodamol at the moment. Huge mistake. I'll get to that in a minute. So, you know, I can pull a pint without my chest hurting. This one of the robbers had stood on my neck and my chest, full body weight, while the other one tried to rip the keys out of my hand. So, a lot of pain. And he said, what happened, Paul? What happened that night? And I remember just kind of going off into I didn't know what to say. I hadn't talked about it since I talked about it to the police and immediate family and friends, like, you know, within the first few days, and suddenly, and I went through this whole thing with that. I'm not sure if it's actually in the vlog where I outline what happened in the aura. But there's another one in which I talked about the healing process, and the healing process only really started because I went to a local mental health charity and had 4 sessions of CBT and faced it all, and somebody's knocking at the door. I'll be back very shortly.
A few moments later.
A parcel for Jason from work. So, right, yeah, I had these CBT sessions and I developed my own recovery method from them, and from facing, standing at the space where I'd been lied on the floor and shouting instructions to my past self. It worked for me. So the point of this entire kind of video was to just, you know, be honest and open with you that I've had issues. I still have mental health issues. You have a visit from the black dog. You have a really dark day where that's a mental health issue. And I think that the more that we talk about them and normalise them, the more we learn to control them. We realise that, okay, everybody feels like this. I feel, you know, sometimes, but on dark days, old and ugly and useless and really camp, and I see all these things as negatives. And then other days, using the exact same criteria, I'm like, oh wow, I'm 50. That's great. And I'm very unique looking and pretty as a lady. And you know, I'm able to open and honestly talk, and I have the opportunity to do this, to be a vlogger, and all of this is wonderful. You know, it depends on the day. I'm very proud that, as well, that Jason works for Mind, which is a national mental health charity, and he works for a local branch, TOG Mind, Tameside, Oldham and Glossop, and they too have a YouTube channel which has resources available on it. I think it's quite an underutilised feature of the organisation, but just because I'm kind like that, I'm going to link TOG Mind's channel up there, so you can have a look at it if you want to, and you know, maybe you'll find some useful resources, because it's not all about local stuff. There are some kind of general resources on there. So yeah, you know, mental health matters now more than ever. I think the fact that we're all in lockdown and we're unable to just do the things that we would normally do to tackle a bad MH day, where we might go for a walk, go browse around the second-hand shops, meet a friend for a coffee, any of these normal things that we would do to tackle you know, loneliness or depression or any other of the huge gamut of mental health issues, ranging from mild to extreme. So of course it's a struggle, but I just think we have to all remember that we do have people we can reach out to. We have video chat. We have the ability to vlog. I'm sure that you have the ability to vlog too, or even if you're not a vlogger, you've got the ability to share with friends and to video chat over Skype or WhatsApp or whatever. And I think it's important for us to utilise those. Excuse me 1 second, because somebody forgot to put his phone on silent. And of course everybody decides that they're going to start commenting on your stuff. Sometimes you sit there waiting for people to comment on stuff and you get nothing, and then when you start to do something, 140 comments. I ain't complaining, I'm having a laugh with you. So yes, you'll notice I'm wearing my merch t-shirt. Our merch is available again, UK only at the moment, but that will hopefully change soon, and we're going to have a little word with our friends at Vegan Original about getting that cartoon face t-shirt sorted out. Is it vain to wear your own cartoon face on a t-shirt? I want to so badly. So maybe I will. Did my hair again last night, that mermaid colour, the mermaid blue. Loving it. Highly recommended. If you're locked down and you're not particularly going anywhere, if you get a chance to maybe order anything off Superdrug, get yourself a bit of hair colour. Do it. Do it. And don't forget to treat yourself well. You know, it is very important that you acknowledge how much downtime, and I don't mean that in a good way, how much downtime you allow up here, how much time you allow it to be down up here. And downtime of the good kind is sometimes the answer, whether it just be watching an old film that you love and that carries an important message that always resonates with you, whether it be listening to some of your favourite music, talking to a friend, writing a poem, finding something on YouTube like some soothing music, some whale sounds, some nighttime meditation, some yoga, some ASMR, whatever it is that you need to help you feel better allow yourself to have that. I have so many wonderful things. Firstly, I have a wonderful husband, and I realise how lucky I am in that regard, that I have someone there that I can just say, can I have a hug please? And I wouldn't like to put a number on it, but Jason and I hug multiple times a day, and always have. And we also say I love you multiple times a day. Just like when Stuart came round when he was leaving, love you, always. I think we get afraid sometimes to tell people we love them unless they're our significant other, but love is a pure thing. Being in love with somebody is a different thing altogether, but love is a very, very pure thing that you feel for many people. I feel love for anybody with a good heart, anybody who has empathy, anyone who takes the animals into consideration, takes the planet into consideration. So yeah, love is very important, and the most important love is with yourself. Loving yourself isn't vanity. Loving yourself is looking after yourself in the same way that you would look after a dear friend. Like, you see someone a bit down, so you say, hey, you okay? Do you want to do something? Do you want to talk? Being able to do that with yourself is so powerful. Being able to recognise, okay, I'm down, what can I do to pick myself up? That song always makes me feel great. I'm going to listen to that song. This movie always makes me feel great. I've got a couple of hours, I'm going to watch it. Where we have to be careful is that we don't start comforting those negative feelings with food, for example, because that can be, you know, I'm feeling bad, so I'm going to have 6 biscuits. I'm feeling bad, I'm going to have half a slice of that cake. That's where the danger is, honey. Oh, we still allow those treats, but moderately, you know. So yeah, Mental Health Awareness Week. Are you aware of your own mental health? Are you aware of how much mental health is prevalent in society, and how we all need to be aware of it? How are you? Are you alright? I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say. It's one thing I do miss about being on TV or talking. Oh, it was great, because I could write all my blurb day before, make it sound right good and presentary, but still hit everything I wanted to say. Do you know what I mean? Meh. Can you do when your well is like watering? Buy a new pair and try and make sure they're vegan. In fact, do make sure they're vegan. Right, if you missed our most recent live, it was a cracker. We answered absolutely loads of questions that had been sent to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. It was great. It was just a really nice atmosphere. Everyone got on great. Jason played one of his songs and it was great, and I'm going to put the link to the live up there. I hold my arm here for ages, so when I'm speeding through the video in edit, I know, oh look, I've said something there, quick, put a link in, and then I make a note of it. And oh, there's a lot goes into this, Karen, honestly. Talking to vegan Karen, not this one. Right, I'm going to get off and carry on with my day. If you take the time to watch this, thank you very much. Please check our links down there in the description, where you'll find a link to our Patreon, all our socials, our website. What else? And our merch. We've got lots of lovely merch, and the cartoon faces are coming really soon. Thank you to you all our patrons for helping us to continue doing this, and thank you to all our super chatters when we do a live. You guys are incredible. You're all incredible. We love you to pieces. You know, that pure love I was talking about before. You know the one, don't you? Yes, that's it. I'll see you again very soon. Until then, please be excellent to yourself and each other.